We are live.
Hey, everybody, I'd like to call the Northampton Township Board of Supervisors meeting for Wednesday, March 24th, 2021 to order. We'll start with a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
To the republic
to the republic
for which stands one
one
nation,
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
all.
Thank you. Before we move on, I just want to make mention, as many have seen on the news in the past couple of days, a young woman from our community was the victim of a horrific crime in another state. When one of our families grieves, the community grieves with them. Our thoughts and prayers are with them at this difficult time. Thank you. Well, it's been a while, but we actually have a flag presentation tonight, and I'm going to turn it over to Frank O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One of the things that the pandemic has limited is our ability to do personal recognition of our residents in the military who are deploying or returning from deployment from a combat zone. All of us here believe that it's important to continue the township's flag recognition program as best we can. The township started this program in 2003, and currently there are over 99 flags in the display shown behind Adam there. There are two flags with black streamers in the display. One is for PFC Bobby Dombowski, who was killed in Iraq, and the other for Master Sergeant Ken Elwell, who died in Afghanistan. We remember them at all of our military recognition programs. Tonight, we are pleased to welcome back Army Specialist Evan Exton from his combat tour in Iraq. He deployed to Iraq on May 21st, 2020, and returned to the United States on February 14th, 2021. Evan enlisted in the Army while still in high school and went on active duty in March of 2017. Prior to deploying to Iraq, he was stationed at Joint Base Emmeldorf-Richardson in Anchorage, Alaska. He will be returning to his former unit at that base early next month and resuming his duties as a heavy record maintenance mechanic with the 17th Combat Support Sustainment Battalion. His next assignment will be with an artillery unit at Fort Hood, Texas. Not that I'm prejudiced or anything, but as a former Army artillery officer, I congratulate him on his assignment to an excellent branch of the service. Evan's Army flag currently in the display will be given to Evan and replaced with an American flag. If Evan is listening tonight, we all thank you for your service and wish you well in your future assignments. I would also like to thank Evan's mother, Denise, and his stepfather, Billy Leck, for all that they do for the members of the military as well as veterans. Both of them are members of the Warriors Watch, an outstanding organization that is always there for military members. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Frank, and welcome home. I can tell you there was a very moving and nice parade for Evan, all the way from the airport, all the way through town. The police department, the fire department, EMS all joined in here, and we gathered at his house to welcome home. It was a very exciting day. So thank you. And as you pointed out, there'll be an opportunity later to get the flag back where it belongs.
And by the way, I do have if you can see behind me, you will see the Army flag flying. And unfortunately, for anybody who observes it closely, it looks like I have it up backwards, but that's because it's a mirror image.
Well, to us, actually, it's the right image here. You see it backwards, but we see it proper. So you'll be okay. I did fail to mention, as we move on, just if you would like to make public comment, there are two opportunities for public comment tonight. The first one is coming up, and that is public comment on the agenda items only. And if you would like to comment on the agenda items, please email public comment at nhtwp.org and put the subject, which agenda item you'd like to speak about, and put your name and address in the body of the email so that we can properly recognize you. If you'd like to just make a comment and not be heard, you can use that same email address, again, public comment at nhtwp.org, and you can write your comment in no more than 300 words, and I will read it into the record. The same thing applies at the end of the meeting for public comment. That is open public comment, doesn't have to be for agenda items. And all the same rules around that apply, other than you do not have to put the topic in the subject, but we do need your name and address in the body of the email for the record. So I'll ask right now if there is any public comment. And I know it was a little bit late, so if somebody pops on in a minute or two, we can get back to that. So we'll just move to consent items. Frank, approval of the minutes?
If no one objects, I request that the minutes be approved by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Okay, approved by consent. Thank you. And we'll move to accounts payable. Kim?
Okay, I have the bills list for March 10th, 2021. Total all funds, $1,073,803.35. And then I have the bills list for March 24th, 2021. Total all funds, $629,932.16.
Any objections? If not, approved by consent. Thank you. Let me just check back. Is there any public comment? It does not look like there is any. Okay, thank you. We'll move on. We have no public hearings or unfinished business tonight. So new business, we'll start out with considering bids for the sidewalk and ADA improvements along 2nd Street Pike and Newtown Richborough Road. Barry?
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Bill, do you have the ability to put up the drawing of the township, the sidewalks? If you could please do that, I appreciate that. So it's actually very exciting. We're finally at a point now we're awarding bids for a sidewalk project in downtown Richborough. The project is going to be the in the sidewalks style Richborough 2000 style sidewalks. And if you look on the chart that's on the screen here, all the properties highlight in blue and yellow will be part of this project. So all the sidewalks in front of those properties will be part of this new proposal. Most of the other sites are either, having sidewalks done, as for example, the Giant property, part of the land development, they'll be putting brand new sidewalks in, and other properties like the McDonald's property that already just recently put new sidewalks in. So part of this mission of this board has been trying to make downtown Richborough more walkable, if you will, safer for people. And I know it's kind of a challenge to do that, and there's a mixed condition of sidewalks, but we're trying to systematically make those improvements. I'll also note that, and Bill, maybe you can move the cursor down where near down where the Ironworks Creek Park is. We also have another grant that's going to be coming up soon. That's over almost $1 million, and putting sidewalks on both sides of the street there. So hopefully within the next year or so, we'll have all of downtown Richborough, the Village Overlay area, completely covered with sidewalks on both sides of the street. The proposal we're talking about tonight, we had bids that we sent out to various construction companies. They were opened by McMahon Associates on February 16, 2021. And once again, these are for the sidewalks referred to as a 2000 style sidewalks, which include a decorative brick on the side. There's also a conduit inserted inside the sidewalk for future lighting. So at this program right now, we don't have the money for the lights, but we're putting the conduits in the cement. So at a future date, we can add the lights to it. This is all according to the Richborough Master Plan that was done through our Planning Commission. We basically got 4 bids in, and the bids had 2 different options. A base bid indicated for all the sidewalks in front of the properties with the highlight in blue on the chart. We also had an option bid for the sidewalks highlight in yellow. Those are the properties right next to the Sunoco property, going down towards the barber shop, those properties there. It was more challenging doing those properties because of the grade there, so it had to be a knee wall put in place, and that was a separate bid. But I'm very pleased to report that of the 4 bidders, what I'd like to do is make a recommendation to award the bid to G&B Construction Group. They were a low bidder of $626,392.50. I also want to point out that the township was very successful. We budgeted $520,000 for this plan, and we're receiving a grant from the state for the matching fund. The grant was $500,000. So we have $500,000 of the $626,000 covered by a grant from the state. We also have the money that's been set aside, totaling $91,677, which is money that was set aside from various sidewalk projects around town that we took a fee in lieu of putting sidewalks in. For example, on Temperance Lane, there was a development there for 3 houses. And as opposed to having sidewalks literally go to nowhere, we took a fee in lieu of that and put in a designated account just for future sidewalks, whether it be in downtown Richboro or possibly in Holland. That was about $91,677 in that account. So taking that money, plus the other money we're getting from Andersville Commons of $12,100, we'll have a total of $623,777 money available for this project. And then the difference of the few $1,000s we'll have to make up for the general fund. If I could, Bob, Adam, could I make a motion, please?
Please do. Thanks.
Yeah, so I move to award a contract to G&B Construction Group, Inc., Willow Grove, PA, in the amount, that's total estimated amount bid of $626,392.50, based on the unit pricing as submitted in the bid proposal for the installation of sidewalks along certain portions of 2nd Street Pike and Newtown Richboro Road, and to authorize the township manager to execute all contracts documents required for this project.
I
Is there a
second it.
second? We have a motion and a second. We'll have discussion. Anything further, Barry?
No, a lot of times people smile when they say we want to make Richboro more walkable, things like that. And I think it's always been a long-term goal, this board, to be able to provide, more walkability in town. And we're very pleased that we're able to do this, and we have more grant money coming for the Ironworks Creek sidewalk project. So we're getting there, which is good. And I hope at a future date, we can do more sidewalks in Holland too.
Thanks, Barry. Kim?
I just think that it's something that we have worked for a while. And this is like one of our dreams, to make Northampton walkable, especially our downtown Richboro. And I'm really excited, or it's coming to fruition.
Thanks. Eileen? You're on mute.
Very unusual for me to be muted. First, I think that not just being walkable, the sidewalks will also make it look very nice downtown, where everyone in front of their business will have the same thing, not some people having it where it's going up and down, and some other people not having sidewalks at all. But I have a question, and I don't know who can answer it, but are the 3 businesses that we saw with the yellow, are they the only ones that are getting a retaining wall? Yes, Bob?
That is correct.
Okay, but in front of the church and a little bit down, the grade there is very challenging. Is that something that we may have to add a wall there?
There
Or-
may be, let me just clarify, there may be a small portion of a retaining wall on a piece of the church property. It's going to taper down. The highest is in front of the barber shop,
Mhm.
and then the wall would taper down, and it may touch on the church property a little bit. Yes.
Okay, because when you drive by, you can see that the grade is very high, and so you're not expecting the price when they actually start to do it and to go up,
No.
or they've already decided that there is no retaining wall that needs to go in front of the church.
Well, if there is, it's in the bid contract specifications, and it's already included in the bid proposal.
Okay. Thank you. That's all.
Thanks. Frank?
Yeah, I'm not going to support doing the sidewalks in there as currently proposed. I do not oppose sidewalks. I think putting sidewalks in downtown Richboro is a good idea. My problem is with the decorative portion, the brick running beside the sidewalks. I spent time on 2 separate days walking downtown Richboro to see what all of the sidewalks look like. we all know what Township Road is, and we know the problems with the brick all coming out there. And it takes away from the appearance of the road. It doesn't add to it. The same thing is true if you get north of Alms House Road and you walk up, start at the beer distributor and walk back down to the light. The brick is either raised or it's depressed or it's separated, and it just doesn't look nice at all. I saw, and that's an older portion. I also went up around Giuseppe's restaurant and looked at the brick there, and that's starting to, I mean, that's showing its age, and it's showing that it's separating, and it hasn't been in there that long. Going down to Andersville Commons, you're seeing some start now. Andersville still looks pretty good, but my concern is that this stuff has not been holding up, and we really need to address that. And I understand, since we have brick in, that we may need to do something that makes it look exactly the same. And I have no objection to that. My objection is I just don't think that single bricks, no matter how you put them in, are really going to stand up over the long run, just from what I saw. That's all I have to say.
Thanks, Frank. I don't have any further comments, so I'll call the vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
No.
Okay, motion carries 4-1. Thank you.
Adam, may I add one other thing, please?
Of course.
I'm sorry. So it's always good that we get feedback from residents from time to time. And I want to respond to a letter the Board of Supervisors received from a local resident. And it was concerning a post that was put on the website of for the police department, Northampton Township. So the Northampton Township uses its Facebook account and website to communicate to the residents various concerns, things like that, just like we do with the township. And there's a post there highlighting the concern that the police department had pertaining to cyclists, young children riding bicycles in the downtown area of Richboro. Many of the children, these are mostly, 10, 11-year-olds, like teenagers, riding the bicycles in the parking lots. I personally experienced some, kids riding bikes on the sidewalks and, almost hit me. Many times I've seen kids ride in the parking lot, almost get hit by a car. And, I fully support the police department in Northampton Township, trying to reach out to the residents and trying to tell the parents, say, listen, this is a concern we have. We don't want anybody to get hurt, whether it be somebody walking or a bicycle being hit by a car. And we're just asking simply that parents, talk to the children about this. And the note that the Board of Supervisors got was, it appeared to be very negative about that, and saying that, it's our fault that, kids are riding through the parking lot. And I just want to say, two things. One is I want to say that I fully support the police department trying to communicate to the residents and trying to communicate with the parents and the children to be, have better safety practices. And I would encourage all parents tonight to talk to the children. I mean, if you go in front of Dunkin' Donuts or go to the the Acme Shopping Center, a lot of times kids hang out there on bicycles. I'm all about riding bicycles, but you can't ride a bicycle in a traffic area. It's just, unacceptable, and somebody's going to get hurt. So I just want to bring that to people's attention. And it was a comment we got from residents, and I always appreciate the comments we get from residents, but this resident objected to the comment, but I fully support it by the police department.
Thanks, Barry. Anybody else want to add anything to that?
I would simply say that I think the police have the clear responsibility for public safety. I think they know what they're doing. I think they're very courteous in the way they go about it. And I absolutely support what they did over there. I have had a couple complaints about the kids on the bicycles over there. One throwing a bicycle in front of the entrance to one of the stores as someone was trying to get out. And also one other individual felt like somebody was trying to play a little bit of chicken with them in their car. So I think the police need to be there, need to make sure that the children are safe, and that what they're doing is very appropriate.
Thanks, Frank. Yeah, I mean, the danger certainly is that, most of the kids riding their bikes are fine, are behaving and doing nice things. And then there's a few that could really just ruin it for everybody. And I don't blame the store owners for being upset down there at times when they're doing the kind of things that you just pointed out, Frank. Thank you. We'll move on. The next is to consider a resolution authorizing submission and execution of documents to amend the traffic signal permit, Newtown Richborough Road. Eileen?
Yes, there are new homes that were built called the Estates of Tyler Park, and they will have an entrance at the corner of Newtown Richborough Road and Holland Road. As part of the land development plan approval, the developer, Fox Lane Homes, is required to make improvements to that intersection by adding a fourth leg at the southbound approach, all associated traffic signal equipment, and upgrade of the pedestrian push buttons. To revise the existing permit plan for these improvements, the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation requires that a resolution designating our township manager to execute and file the proper paperwork to be passed. May I make the motion, sir?
Please.
I move to approve Resolution R2111, authorizing the township manager to execute and file PennDOT Form TE-160, application for a traffic signal approval with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for certain improvements to the intersection of Newtown Richborough Road and Holland Road.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Comment? Eileen, anything further?
No, I just think it'll make it even more safe if we're having, a little development. It's not many houses back there, but I guess they want to make sure that we are safe. And so when those people come out, that they'll be able to use the light to get across the street.
Thanks. Frank?
Nothing.
Kim? No? Barry, any comment?
No, I think a comment is that the houses are already sold. So it just tells you how hot the housing market is in Richborough, Northampton.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it's crazy, but no, I think it's a great proposal.
No comments from me. I'll call the vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. The next two items are bids for road milling program and then road materials. Both will be taken care of by Frank.
Excuse me. We received 5 bids for the 2021 road milling project. These bids range from $171,622.28 to $244,961.75. The bids include milling 16 township roads, representing a little over 7 miles of the township road system. Township engineer reviewed all the bids and recommended awarding the contract to James D. Morrissey, Inc., the lowest responsible bidder, at a cost of $171,622.28. The township administration also concurs in awarding the bid to John D. Morrissey Incorporated. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion.
Please.
I move to award to James D. Morrissey Incorporated of Philadelphia, PA, for roadway milling for $2.04 a square yard for 2-inch maximum depth milling and $2.12 per square yard for 4-foot wide taper milling at depths from 0 inches to 2 inches for a total cost of $171,622.68 based on the quantities outlined in the bid documents and specifications for road milling bids.
Thank you. Do we have a second? No.
Second.
Eileen was the second. We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Anything further, Frank?
Nothing further on that.
Eileen?
No, sir.
Kim? Barry?
Oh, good.
Nothing from me here. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Okay, the motion passes. You can roll right into road materials, Frank.
Okay. On behalf of the Bucks County Consortium, New Britain Township advertised for bids for bituminous asphalt materials and stone on February 5th and 9th, 2021. A total of 6 companies submitted bids for various materials used in road maintenance and resurfacing. The Department of Public Works recommends contract awards for the various maintenance materials to 3 companies. Eureka Quarry, Inc. of Chalfont, PA, for screenings, 2-way stone mix, super pave super paved 19 millimeter binder, super paved 25 millimeter binder. To asphalt maintenance solutions, the DTEC and Crackmaster 3405 Type 2, and to Hanson Aggregates BMC Incorporated of Newtown, PA. A lot of the stone, number 18 1/2 inch stone, number 2B. No, I'm sorry, that's not number 1B 1/2 inch stone. Number 2B 3/4 inch stone, and number 4 ballast stone, and super paved 9.5 millimeter wearing course. Like to make a motion?
Please.
I move to award contracts for bituminous asphalt mixtures, crack sealing materials, and stone to Eureka Stone Quarry Incorporated, Chalfont, PA, Hanson Aggregates, BMC Incorporated, Newtown, PA, and Asphalt Maintenance Solutions Incorporated, Bensalem, PA, at their bid prices to the Bucks County Consortium.
Do we have a second? Oh, I think I heard a second from Kim.
I'll second.
Thank you, Kim. Any discussion, Frank?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that the 7+ miles of paving plus the almost 3 miles of planned micro resurfacing brings us up to our 10 miles of road maintenance per year. In the 2020 budget, the board recognized the need for a dedicated funding source for roads. And that's now built into the budget every year and will be moving forward. And I think that will ensure that we continue to have a quality road maintenance program.
Thanks, Frank. Kim?
Yeah, I just think that our roads, it's a rough road, but I really like our new system that really tells us exactly which roads need it and which ones don't, computer-wise.
Eileen? Barry?
All good.
No, I'll just add, I was going to make the same comments as Frank. This board is honoring its commitment to work on trying to get 10 miles a year done in some fashion. And we do have that third party that does the analytical portion of the road, which takes the guessing and subjectiveness out of it. And it really does identify which roads truly need to be a priority. And I'm glad we did that. And I think the residents are glad that we did it. We're starting to see that improvement. And the only way to get this done is to start and then just keep going. And we will catch up and our roads will be in much better condition. So thank you. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Last item we have is a resolution declaring and rescinding a snow emergency from February.
Well, let's hope that we don't have any more snow.
No kidding.
Okay, so this resolution declares a limited state of emergency on February 18th, 2021 at 0600 hours, 6 a.m. due to a snow emergency. The same resolution declares the limited state of emergency is no longer in effect as of 1600 hours, 4 o'clock p.m. on February 19th, 2021. If I could make a motion?
Please.
I move to approve resolution R-21-12 declaring a limited state of emergency effective 0600 hours, February 18th, 2021, and ending on February 19th, 2021 at 1600 hours.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Anything further, Kim?
I just want to say that I think that Northampton has the best plowing in any place around, because our guys, our public works guys and everybody just did a phenomenal job this winter.
We do hear that a lot. Eileen?
No, sir.
Frank?
Nothing.
Barry?
No, all good.
Nothing for me other than it's ironic. We'll have 70 degrees in a day and we're rescinding a snow emergency. So that's good news. Spring is upon us. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Before we get into liaison reports, just a last reminder, public comment. We will do public comment at the end of the meeting. If you would like to make a comment, please email publiccomment@nhtwp.org. put your name and address in the body of the email so we have it for the record, and then we'll recognize you when the time comes. So first report, Kim.
Okay, the senior center. Communication has been key to keeping our center members healthy and strong, both physically and emotionally, through these difficult times. They know they can depend on the staff at the center to talk with, receive guidance, or resources available to them, and will be assured that the staff is accessible as a source of positive support for all seniors within the community. The center is also sending out email blasts to its members every 10 days to 2 weeks with vital information. The blasts are keeping the seniors informed and updated on new resources for COVID-19 testing and vaccination, in addition to the services as they become available. This includes programs that the township is offering along with organizations in the area. At the same time, the seniors are notified of any fraudulent or scam situations, which everyone needs to be aware of. There are even games and puzzles included for something challenging and fun to do. The Senior Center bi-monthly newsletter can also be found posted on the township's website under Senior Center's link. Now I have the Parks and Rec. Our spring brochure, I want to hold that up. If everybody got that, has arrived in residents' mailbox and is also posted on the Park and Rec homepage at www.northamptonrec.com. Be sure to check out our latest in-person and virtual offerings, including our new in-person Mad Science workshops for ages 7 through 12. From learning to be a detective to creating movie special effects, each Mad Science workshop will excite and engage your child. There are many more programs waiting for every member of the family. Spring, this means special events this year, and I have one right here, an Easter basket, an Easter shoebox parade and egg hunt. This one was made by our Parks and Rec people. I didn't do it. Okay, Peter Cottontail will be hopping around to 10 different Northampton Township buildings, leaving a large colorful egg that will have a hidden word. It will be your mission to hunt for all 10 eggs and unscramble the hidden word to reveal Peter's message. Prizes will be awarded by random selection of correct entries. For more information on submitting your entry for the hunt and shoebox float, please contact northamptonrec.com. And there are 2 other events scheduled, and they are What It's Worth appraisal program and the community yard sale. If you've been like many other people, you have used your time this past year to clean out your home. Perhaps you've discovered some items that might be worth something, but you're not sure on how to go about finding its value. Well, Parks and Rec has an answer. On Thursday, April 22nd from 6 to 8, Mike Ivanovich, host of Philadelphia's Ask Mike the Appraiser, will hold a Zoom What's It Worth, where Mike will appraise one of your treasures and share tips and advice how to approach your valued items, and all while remaining in the comfort and safety of your own home. Let Mike's expertise of an antique specialist, author, auctioneer, and appraiser help you determine what your special treasures are worth. And if they aren't as valuable, there's always the community yard sale on May 22nd to consider. Your trash is always somebody else's treasure. Register for one or both events on the Park and Rec website. Northampton Township Summer Camp and Swim Club staff is looking for new members to add to our awesome team. If you have or are working towards obtaining your lifeguard certification or have a desire to work with children, let us know. Applications are posted on the homepage of our website. And lastly, I just want to talk a little bit about we're allocating our spring facility to the youth sports organizations so they can conduct their seasons and resume training. We're happy to welcome them back to the fields after losing out on their seasons last year. But please remember, for the safety of all participants and spectators, all COVID protocols must be followed, including social distancing and mask wearing by both spectators and athletes when not in competition. And that's all I have.
Right, thank you, Kim. Frank?
The only thing I have is that the Veterans Advisory Commission is still looking at whether they can do the Memorial Day as a live event or whether it will be the same as it was last year. And we're probably going to wait until the April Board of Supervisors meeting to see what guidance that we as a board can give them, because they really have to have a decision one way or the other so that they can do the proper planning starting the very beginning of May. I mean, they're planning for it now, but they're planning both options. If we're going to videotape everything and then put it on the website for Memorial Day, we really have to get that done well in advance. So we really need to make a decision about that point. What is best? Is that location best? Maybe another consideration. So I just pass that on for what it's worth. That's all I have.
Thank you, Frank. Barry? You're on mute, Barry.
Thanks. A few things happening in town with planning and zoning. The zoning hearing board approved 2 residential building lots at Advent Church in town on Worthington Mill Road. So these properties are right next to the High Spire. It's going to be 2 developments there. They're both zoned R2. That's coming online, and new construction will be done there. Also on the, we're having at the Wawa meeting on April 12th at the zoning hearing board, will be a meeting pertaining to Wawa, which will be opened up, be done via Zoom. So I know people may want to watch that. And then the planning commission will have on April 13th at 7:30, they'll also have, discuss what's happening with the Wawa in Holland that's proposed. On April 22nd, there's going to be an application submitted to the zoning hearing board for the Trinity Church in Holland to construct townhouses and apartment on the church property on Buck Road. So church property on Buck Road in Holland, there's going to be a meeting there to talk about that. Other things happening in town, there's going to be on Stonyford Road, right down the street where I live, we're reviewing a development for 9 single-family homes, which are going to be R3, and this is right near the Village Shopping Center there. And so a lot of activities are happening in town. As I mentioned, a lot of the sites and property. Springville Country Club is being actively marketed. We see a lot of those homes being purchased. A lot of the developments in town have been purchased, so it's a lot of construction activity, which I guess in many ways is good, and some ways is not so good. So that's what's happening.
Thank you, Barry. Before we go to Eileen, just a quick comment. If you'd like to make a public comment, please email publiccomment@nhtwp.org, and it needs to have a name associated with it and an address for the record. So if you want to make a comment, or if you'd like me to read something out, please put a name and address for the record. Thank you. Eileen?
Yes, our next library board meeting, which is going to be on Zoom again at 7:30 on Thursday, March 25th, tomorrow. You can find the link on the library website or on the township website if you would like to join us. And also, I would like to wish everyone a sweet Passover and a happy Easter. When you look at the different holidays, we are more alike than different. Please take the time to find out the connection between Passover and Easter. It is really very interesting. Thank you. That's it.
Thanks, Eileen. I just have one comment for tonight, and I don't know if you know, but many folks maybe know that Judge Bill Benz has retired. Bill was a longtime district justice here in Richboro. And maybe you didn't know, but before that, he had served in the township in various capacities and on this Board of Supervisors and as chairman of the Board of Supervisors in his time. So he did put a lot of time and effort into the community. I always found my workings with Bill. I've been in the fire department for a long time. I've been the fire chief for a long time, and he was on the board back when I was the chief then as well. Always very professional, always great to work with. always very community-minded. He is moving out of the township, what I understand, but we do wish him and his family well and thank him for the time that he spent here. So if you see him, give him a thumbs up sometime and wish him well. That is all I have. I'll move to a manager's report. Bob?
I have nothing tonight, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. It's easy. Joe?
The minutes should reflect that the board met in executive session on Wednesday, March 10. Present for the executive session were the members of the Board of Supervisors, the township manager, the assistant township manager, the township manager, assistant township manager, and me. A matter of personnel was discussed. No official action was taken. No official action was required this evening as a result of that executive session. I'll echo Eileen's sentiments. Sweet Passover and a happy Easter to everyone in the community and obviously to all of you.
Thank you, Joe. Engineers report. Jacob?
No, sir, nothing to report tonight.
Okay, well, I'll mention because Jacob has been sitting in for Amanda, who you normally see, who was out for a while. Amanda will be joining us again in April. But thank you for your time spent with us on the last few months, Jacob. You've been certainly helpful, very informative when we needed that. And we know that you continue to work with Northampton, even though you're not the face
Yes.
of our engineers, but we do appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Last chance for public comment. I don't think there's any. Bill, Lisa, quick check.
None at this time.
Okay, well, having none, the meeting is adjourned.